How you doing? Nice
Hello.
to see you.
Hi.
Alright, so let's get started. Can you tell me about yourself?
Well, my name is Forrest Graham. I'm currently part of the management trainee program with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. My day-to-day tasks include maintenance and inspections of vehicles that we rent out to different customers, whether it's either through retail. We have a lot of corporate customers through the state of Louisiana. Also, a lot of people that are traveling for their job. Also, another aspect of my job is to run a satellite branch within a location of a body shop. That's really my first experience with any leadership roles, where I'm pretty much running a branch by myself, even though I'm a entry-level employee.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So, could you tell me why you want this job?
I've really wanted to branch out and do a larger, different types of sales. I think being the idea of being my own boss and managing different accounts while developing relationships in my own way, kind of controlling what I do on a day-to-day basis, really is interesting to me. And I like to get to know different people, but I also like to compete. I like to set goals for myself on all different types of things, and I like to just kind of compete with others, compete with myself, while also, making a little bit of money along the way.
That sounds great. So what about your long-term career goals? Where do you see yourself?
Well, I've always enjoyed teaching. When I first coming out of college, that's what I really wanted to do. I enjoy learning something and then kind of tweaking it in my own manner, and then teaching it to somebody else, and then kind of watch them take it away and see what they do with it. So it's really
Very enriching. Okay. So, could you tell me about a time where you worked with someone who had a different personality from you?
Well, yeah, right now in my current position, we actually have a new employee named Whitney. Working with enterprise, with retail, you really have to be outgoing. We do focus a lot on customer service, so that's a really big aspect. So even though most people that come to rent a car are renting it for, whether they got in an accident, whatever, they're going to be in a bad mood. So you have to be nice. You got to talk to complete strangers. Whitney, she's a new employee with the company. She's a little shy. She's very timid, and so I guess when you do have those customers that are extremely rude or have a ton of questions, and you're very reserved, it kind of makes the whole, I don't want to say makes us all look bad, but it does, at the end of the day, it does affect our customer service rating.
Right.
Working with those types of people, getting them used to, talking to people they've never even met before, having a full conversation within a 5-minute span, is really important. I think it's really cool to see people, develop mentally that way.
Okay. Can you tell me about a time that you failed and how you overcame that situation?
I guess the biggest failure was I was trying to be promoted about 2 years ago to a different, department, and the requirements with enterprise, whether it's related to sales or not, they do have sales goals. So I was trying to get away from sales at that point in my career, just to kind of branch out to see what I liked more. And at that point in time, I didn't have the numbers that were required, and I went back, looked at what I was bad at, and really focused on that. Whether it was tweaking my sales pitch, I went to different employees, especially my managers, to get their input and see what they say, and then I kind of applied it, and I definitely saw a change. So
that's great. Tell me about a time that you were given the lead on a project and what direction you took with it.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I do pretty much run my own branch.
Mhm.
So I'm there by myself. So I'm kind of like my own leader, where I have to do all the things that are incorporated with running a branch that usually has 4, 5, 6 people sometimes, and running it and doing it all by myself. Whether it's customer service, callbacks to make sure all customers are paid up on time. Um, let's see, maintenance of cars. Have to keep them clean by myself. I don't have a service agent like we have at the regular branch. Like I'm having to clean these cars by myself. And all that while being a human being, I guess, being my own team leader, I guess you could say.
Okay. So what type of work environment do you prefer to work in?
Very fast paced. I feel like it keeps everybody in a good mood. They're not sitting around getting bored.
Yeah.
And it also makes the day go by faster. Um, I just I like having something to do at all times. Not necessarily that has to be done right that second, but whether it's having calling customers back, getting updates on payments, or even cleaning cars. I like to do things quickly and just get it out of the way as fast as I can, so we can move on to the next thing. That needs to be done.
So what are you looking for in a new position?
Definitely looking for some freedom in dealing with customers my own way.
Okay.
I feel that with my current job, I've fallen into a rhythm, sort of a robot. Just saying the same thing to customers because we can only sell, only 4 things at the end of the day. It's really only 4 different items that we can sell that affects our numbers. So I really want to broaden my horizons as far as getting a new client base and networking more, even with my personal life. I like to meet new people. Maybe our kids are going to go to the same high school one day, and we develop relationships that way that are going to benefit us in the long run. Like I'm thinking 10, 12 years down the road. So
Very forward thinking. Okay, so lastly, why should we hire you?
Because I can carry a workload. I'm used to working almost 11, 12-hour days. I'm used to having a lot on my plate at once. So I'm gonna hit the ground running. I mean, on day one, my mind's like a sponge. I like to learn new things. I like to see how everybody else is handling their type of business and apply it. Like I like to be a part of a team, and I feel like here at this company, I can really find a family and start a career.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear. Thanks for coming out today.
Thank you. Have a good day.